Hey everyone, this is John Roca from Collider. I'm here with two incredibly beautiful and talented women from the film Brian Banks, which I just finished crying about in the bathroom. It's such an incredible film. Sherri Shepherd and Melanie Liburd. I hope I'm saying that right.
Perfect.
Thank you. It's always difficult. Sherri, I want to start with you. Listen, I'm used to laughing along with you and watching you on the shows and hearing your points of views on things. This is such a dramatic role for you, such a strong role. What is it about taking on what attracted you to this project? Was it stretching on as an actress, or was it about the story of this black man and what he had to go through?
Well, I mean, you always want to stretch as an actress, but when I saw the script and read about this woman named Leomia, as a co-host of The View, we had interviewed Brian Banks when he was exonerated, and I met Leomia, Brian's mother, then. But to read the script and really see what she went through as his mother and how much she loved him. If you meet her, she's very shy. And she says, I'm not a hero, I just love my son. But your love was what kept this man sane during his darkest hours. And to read that, what worked against me was being a comedic actress, because they didn't want to see me for that very reason, to audition for the movie, and I had to beg and borrow and steal, and because so many big names were being bandied about to play Brian's mom. So to have Tom Shadyac, because you only need one person to believe in you. Tom Shadyac was the one because he directed Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy, so he was used to working with stand-up comics. And he said in my audition on FaceTime with him, he said, I had to sit on Eddie and I had to sit on Jim. I'm going to have to sit on you. So come, sit on me. I've been wanting to be sat on my whole life.
But butt cheeks right here.
Yes, but he was able to. Yes, both of them.
Okay.
You did think of it like that. But Tom was able to take the comedic side and put it on the shelf with the fine china and bring out the side of the pain. Because Leomia would carry sadness like a blanket around her shoulders of because she couldn't protect her son. And that follows her to this day, of not being able to protect her son. And that's what Tom was able to bring out. So I'm very thankful to him.
That's great to see. Melanie, look, you've done This Is Us, Gypsy, Dark Matter, all these, and now this one, all these, I mean, can you get a comedy? Can you get to
She's so funny.
I did do a comedy.
You did?
Yeah, The Grinder, which was fun.
Oh, yes, a few years ago.
But I love a bit of, I just love a challenge, and this to me, I mean, this is why I do it. I mean, to be given the honor of making a movie like this with a wonderful leader, director, Tom, who believed it. He put us all through our paces for this movie. And I was saying earlier, some of the questions that he used to ask. I mean, I think I had 5 Skype interviews with him, and he would ask me all these questions about myself, about what I was interested in, about life, how I worked. And I thought, why is he asking me all these questions? And then it became apparent on set. And then, so by the time we got onto set, he knew us. He knew us in a way that was very individual and very specific to how we worked. And so it was great, such a great and interesting creative process. The whole thing, the whole journey.
Have been. And you channel this incredible monologue when you speak. The character speaks about her experience with sexual assault. What was it like on the set doing that monologue for? Did all that work with Tom ahead of time kind of put your walls down a little bit to let you access
Definitely
that
allows you to be brave enough when you trust someone as much as Tom, because it's a hard. She was a hard character to play. I mean, you want to do she's a real person. My character's based on 2 people, but part of Karina is based on someone who is a victim of sexual assault. And it happened to her, and she wasn't believed. She was brave enough to come forward and tell her story, and no one believed her. And then she loses 5 years of her life because it just eats away at her and tears her apart. And then she meets Brian, who's lost 5 years of his life, and they come together and find this commonality of believing each other and light and hope. So I thought that was beautiful.
I think that's the brilliance of the film, Sherri and Melanie. This is a tough subject. He said, she said, he gets exonerated, but it doesn't mean there aren't so many cases where people speak their truth and don't get hurt. So I hope it finds an audience. Sherri, you have that great monologue near the end when you're trying to convince the DA to take this on. I love how you were shot. I love how it was positioned. How much of that have you been dying to do on screen or perform as an actress?
Oh my gosh, my whole life. That's always been a secret dream of mine, to do drama. But in Hollywood, when you're known for comedy, you get put in a box. And it, like I said, it takes one person to believe in you so you can get out of that box. So it was hard because my call time was 10 in the morning, and I didn't do that scene until 2 in the morning.
Oh.
And we had gone through lunch and came back and wardrobe change, and I slept for hours. And to have Tom say, "No, this is the scene. You're speaking for every mother whose child has been incarcerated. You are speaking for them." It's 2 in the morning. I'm sleepy as hell. My stomach growling. You know, I'm just. It was a lot. And I'm like trying to remember the dream that I had. Like maybe he was dreaming, but he was so brilliant in being able to get me where I needed to be. And I am a mother of a little black boy.
Gotcha.
And every day I go through the fear of, what if my son doesn't come home, and what if somebody is looking at him in a way where they don't see the silliness and the beauty of my child, and those uncomfortable conversations that I have to have with him about what if the police stops you. He calls me mommy. You have to tell the police you want to speak to your mommy. You know how horrifying that is, how scary that is. So it was all of that churning inside of me that wanted to get out, and I knew that was Leomia's story, and that's another mother's story, and that's another mother's story. So that was kind of what built it up. And, yeah.
It's a joy to watch.
And those were Leomia's own words. That was her speech.
Wow.
Yeah, that
really
was
what she said.
Those were actually Leomi's words about her son.
That's even more powerful.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's great stuff both you do. It's my pleasure to meet
Thank
and
you.
speak with both of you.
Thank you.
That is Sherri Shepherd and Melanie Liburd. Go see Brian Banks. I'm telling you, this one is great.